Hello everybody, welcome to Deluxe Collectibles, and today we're going to be going over all of the LEGO sets that are going to be retiring this year, either at the end of March or the end of the summer. I wanted to make this video to inform you on all of the different themes that will have sets that are going to be retiring, and we'll be covering 14 different themes within this video, but I'll be sure to timestamp each part of the video if you want to skip to a specific theme, and I will also probably already have a video out specifically discussing the Ninjago sets, because of course that's kind of the main sort of content that I cover on the channel, so I wanted to discuss those separately. But in this video I'll just be sharing my quick thoughts about each of the sets, letting you know whether or not I already own them or whether I'm planning on picking them up at some point in the future, and I'll also specify with each set if it's going to be retiring at the end of the summer or the end of March, so that you're well aware. And this list is coming from Promo Bricks as well, which I have done a previous video based on their sort of like predictions and knowledge of what sets are going to be retiring, and that was back in 2020, and they seem to be correct with the majority of the information, if not all of it. So I would definitely trust this list, or at least put some trust in it, at least keep it in the back of your mind. If any of these sets appeal to you and you want to pick them up before they retire, then be sure to look out for each of them. But without further ado, let's get straight into it here with the first theme, which is City. Alright, so for the city theme, there are going to be 3 sets that will be retiring, and they're all going to be at the end of March of 2021, so keep that in mind as well. You're not going to have too much time to pick these up, so make sure if you want to get any of them to pick them up as soon as possible. And the first one that we have here is the diving yacht, and I'm going to let you know right off the bat here that none of these city sets really intrigued me too much. They're not by any means bad builds, but I'm just not too interested in the theme at this point, because I'm not really constructing my own city, so I don't really have too much reason to purchase any of these sets. So maybe later on, if I ever build my own city, then I'll definitely have more of an interest in the theme. So this diving yacht just doesn't really interest me in general, and I don't have too much to say. Then the next one that we have here is the deep space rocket and launch control, which is definitely a cool space set here. It's not by any means a bad one. It's actually got a really cool design to it, and I love how they worked in the track pieces as well to kind of have a little bit of an extra side piece there. I think that definitely adds to it quite a bit, and I do like the overall look of this set. It's just not something personally for me at this point, but still it is a pretty cool set. Now the last city set that we have here is the race boat transporter, and this one here is once again just a very simple city set. These don't really interest me too much. I'm not a huge fan of the color scheme going on here. It's not a bad set, but it just doesn't really appeal to me. But if you do want to pick it up, make sure to do so by the end of March. Now the next theme that we're going to be covering here is LEGO Classic, and this one there are 2 sets that will be retiring, and both of them in summer of 2021. And the first set that we have here is Bricks on a Roll, and it's not a bad set. This one just doesn't really intrigue me too much. I feel like I'm going to have similar comments as I said with the city sets. It's just not a theme that personally interests me too much. I like it for the reason that of course it allows you to be very creative with the way that you're building with the sets, but I'm not too interested in that at this point. I'd just rather buy sets where they actually have a build that they specifically want you to construct, and with a theme that I'm much more interested in. So it just doesn't interest me too much, but it's still a decent set, and it's got some pretty cool pieces as well. The other classic set that's going to be retiring is Creative Green Bricks, and once again just not one that interests me too much. It's definitely a very small set here, so it's not one that I'm too intrigued by, and I probably won't be picking this one up anytime soon. Alright, now for the theme of LEGO Creator, there's going to only be one set that will be retiring, but it's going to be at the end of March, so you're going to want to pick this one up as soon as you can. And this one here is the Townhouse Pet Shop and Cafe, and this is a very cool looking set here. I honestly really love the look of this one. Now I'm not sure if I'll wind up picking it up just because it is a bit expensive, and I also am just not like too interested in the creator theme. I really have to limit myself because of course I don't have unlimited amounts of money, so I'm not able to purchase every set that I want to get my hands on, so I gotta prioritize what themes I prefer and which ones I don't. And this set I can still definitely really appreciate it quite a bit. I love like the little teacup on the side of the build as well, which just looks really nice, and it is still a good set, but it's just not one that I'm going to be picking up. Alright, now we move forward to Lego Disney right here, and all three of the sets that I'm going to cover for this theme are all going to be retiring in summer of 2021, and the first one that we have here is Anna's Canoe Expedition, and honestly, I kind of forgot about the Frozen 2 sets. I really enjoyed the Frozen 2 film, but I was just never too interested in the sets just because of the factor of them having mini dolls in them instead of having minifigures. I just feel like it really closes me off from wanting to purchase these sets, even though they might have some cool looking builds, which this set, it's not anything too spectacular, but it's still got some cool elements to it, but it just kind of pushes me away from it and doesn't really intrigue me too much with the factor of the mini dolls, but still, I think it is a decent set, and if you're a Frozen 2 fan, you'll probably want to pick it up. Then we've got Elsa's Magical Ice Palace right here, and this set is definitely a really cool one. I actually really love the look of this set, and I believe this one wasn't a direct re-release, but I believe it was like a kind of re-release of a previous Magical Ice Palace that was made for Elsa, and I think that this is definitely a really cool looking set. It's got some really cool pieces in it as well. I love it when LEGO utilizes those semi-translucent pieces there, and I think it just looks so cool within this set. It's just got a really nice build. I love the giant snow monster as well. I think that's really cool, so it is just a really nice set overall, but I still will probably not wind up picking it up. Now the last Disney princess set that we have here is Belle's Castle Winter Celebration, and this is a pretty cool set right here. This one is a 4+ set, and you get of course Belle and Beast within this set, which is really cool. I like the look of both of them, and I especially really like Beast's like molded head there. I think that looks really good, and it's a pretty decent looking build here. It seems a little bit more of a facade build, which of course is what you kind of expect with a lot of LEGO sets, but it's still nice from the exterior. I really do like the look of it from the front there, so it is still a pretty decent set, but it's probably not one that I'm going to go after. Alright, now we've got the LEGO themed dots right here, and both of these sets that I'm going to cover here are both retiring in summer of 2021, and the two sets here, I'm just going to cover them at the same time because they're both just two of the bracelets right here, and these never really interest me, unsurprisingly. I mean, I'm not really in the demographic for dots, so I wouldn't really have too much of an interest in this, but there's still some cool tiles in the sets, I suppose, so there is kind of that intrigue, I suppose, but still, it's not really something too spectacular, and these don't really stand out in my opinion. Alright, now we've got LEGO Harry Potter, and there's only one set here that should be retiring, and this one will be in summer of 2021, and it is the Hogwarts Great Hall. I know a few times in the past they've thought this set was going to retire, and then they wound up extending it, but now with us knowing about a new Hogwarts Great Hall that's going to come out for the Harry Potter anniversary, I think it's a pretty sure thing that this one is going to be retired, and I did pick up this set when it released, and it is a fantastic one for sure. Definitely, I would say a must-buy for Harry Potter fans, and I don't know if the new one, of course, is going to be better than this one, but I do think this one definitely stands on its own really well. I love the figures that are included, the build is just really fantastic, and it's just got a lot of cool details to it as well, so I definitely say this is one of my favorite Harry Potter ones, and one that you would probably not want to miss out on. Alright, now we've got the LEGO Jurassic World theme right here, and there's only one set that will be retiring, and this one here will be in summer of 2021, and this one is the Face Off the Treasure Hunt right here. I could not pronounce the first dinosaur name there, so let me know the pronunciation in the comment section if you do know it, but I don't want to butcher it here in this video, but I actually do like the look of this set. I think this one's honestly pretty cool. I haven't picked up any of the Jurassic World sets, so I don't really have any exposure for the theme, but I think that it is still pretty cool. I definitely, of course, can appreciate the dinosaur builds right here. Not really the builds, but the figure, of course. I think it just looks fantastic with some absolutely great detailed printing on it. And then, of course, you get two of the main characters as well, so it's nice to get them there in that little, like, Jeep that they have. So it is a pretty cool set, but it's still not something that interests me enough to want to pick it up. Alright, now we move forward here to LEGO Marvel Superheroes, and there's going to be 4 sets that will be retiring in summer of 2021, and the first one that we have here is a highly desirable set, I'm sure, and it is the Iron Man Hall of Armor right here. It feels like this set has been on shelves forever at this point, and yet I still have not picked it up yet. I definitely do want to get my hands on this one because the Iron Man armors within this set, of course with kind of the exception of Igor there, are definitely really great. I love the designs of all of them, the unique printing as well on each of them looks absolutely fantastic. I especially love the Iron Man Mark 1. That has got to be one of my favorite Iron Man suits, and I love the way that it was translated into a Lego minifigure there. I think it looks absolutely fabulous, and of course just the design of the set with the Hall of Armors there is just such a cool idea, something of course very iconic from the MCU, so it's cool to see it here within Lego, and I think it's just a really great set overall, and definitely one that if you're a Marvel or an Iron Man fan, you're definitely gonna want to get this one. Then we've got Thanos' mech right here, and this is another one that I really want to pick up. I've kind of been slacking on the Marvel theme, so I really got to pick up some of these before they end up retiring, because this set is really fantastic. Now, the Thanos minifigure is no longer exclusive to this set because it's coming out in another set that's either already released or maybe it came out even on March 1st, I suppose, but it's basically one that includes Thanos and Iron Man, but still, I think this is the superior set here. It's just such a great looking mech build. I really do love the design of it, and the gauntlet looks absolutely fantastic in my opinion. I think it just looks great, and these sets are pretty affordable as well, so I would definitely recommend this one if you're a fan of Thanos. Then we've got the Avengers truck takedown right here, and this is yet again another really strong set here. Now this is one that I probably will end up passing on because really the main thing drawing me towards it was the Captain America figure, and even though it's not going to be the same one, I know that we're going to get another Cap figure within the mech set that he's in, and I know that one's already released, but it's just much more affordable, so I'll probably pick that one up because the Hawkeye figure here, even though it's exclusive and it's really cool, it doesn't really make me want to pick up the set too much. It's still got a great build here, though I definitely really love the Avengers truck there, and it looks like it's capturing a pretty action-packed scene here as well, fighting against the AIM agents, so I do like it for that aspect as well, but I'm still probably going to pass on this one. Now the last Marvel set that we have here is Spider-Man specifically here, and it's one that I definitely want to pick up, the Spider-Jet versus the Venom mech right here, and this set is by no means, in my opinion at least, good for the reasons of the builds here. I think that actually both of the builds within the set is just really bad. I'm not a huge fan of either of the builds here. The Venom mech to me looks very just, I don't know, not as good as the other ones I suppose, and just very weird for some reason. I'm not sure, it just looks a little bit too scrawny and not big enough like how I would expect from a Venom mech, and even though I know it's more of the secondary build within this set, I'm still not a huge fan of it. And then the Spider-Jet, it once again just goes into the argument of why does Spider-Man need this vehicle, but the main thing about this set that I do want it for is the Spider-Man Noir minifigure. I think it's just such a fantastic figure, and of course I love it because it's very accurate to the Spider-Verse Spider-Man Noir figure, or character I suppose, and so I really do want to get that set for this reason, so hopefully I'll be able to pick it up or either just bricklink the figure on its own. Now we're at the Lego Minecraft theme here, and there's going to be 2 sets that will be retiring, and the first one here is the Wool Farm, and I think this is a pretty darn cool set here. Now I don't collect too much of the Minecraft theme, so it doesn't really interest me too much, but I can definitely still appreciate the cool look of this one. I think it's just got a nice design to it. I like getting all the different sheep as well. That's definitely a cool thing. Of course, we're used to getting Steve all the time, so I do not care for that figure as much, but I do like that he comes with the scissors there. I think that's a really cool piece there, and I just think that it's a pretty decent set overall, and this one will be retiring in summer. Then the next Minecraft set here, and the last one that we have, is the Creeper Mine, and this is an absolutely fantastic set. Now this one apparently will be retiring by the end of March, so if you want this set, you're gonna have to make sure to get it soon, and this has got to be one of my favorite Minecraft sets. As I said just before, I don't collect too much of the Minecraft theme, but this is definitely one that does intrigue me because it's just got such a cool and creative build to it. I absolutely love the creeper structure that they have there. I love the flags as well on the front of it also, and the figures here are really great as well. I love that you get one of the Minecraft skin characters there, and then you also get some really cool mobs as well included in the set, so I like it for both of those aspects as well. well, and I just think it has a very strong build also, so it's definitely one of my favorite Minecraft sets and one that I would definitely recommend getting if you're a fan of the theme. Alright, now we're going to be going over LEGO Ninjago here, which is my favorite LEGO theme, so I'm super excited to cover this. Now, I was so excited that I did do a separate video discussing all of these sets as well and letting you know information about them and my opinions as well, so I'm not going to go as in-depth within this video. I'll cover them as quickly as I can, still giving you my opinion, of course, but just a little bit more briefly. So if you want to check out more in-depth thoughts on these sets here that are going to be retiring, be sure to check out that video because there's 11 of them here. So there's quite a few to go over, but the first one that we have here is Cole's speeder car right here, and this one is a 4+ set. I think it's honestly a pretty decent one, though. I love that you get the Cole figure here, and this one will be retiring in summer of 2021. Then the next one that we have here is Kai's mech jet right here, and this one will also be for summer, and I think that this is an okay build. It's not one of my favorite ones, and it's not one that I'll probably wind up picking up. I'm probably going to pick up the Cole speeder car, honestly, but this one doesn't really intrigue me enough or have anything that I really need to go after within this set, so I'm not a huge fan of it, but I'm sure if you are, you'll probably want to pick it up before it retires. Then we've got the Gamers Market right here, arguably the best set of the Prime Empire wave here. Of course, the minifigures are just absolutely spectacular. This one will be retiring in summer as well, and I think that there's just some really great figures included in this set. Pink Zane, the avatar outfits for the ninja, you have Okino, you got Harumi as well, Red Visor, just a bunch of cool figures here and some really good builds as well. So I'd say it's a pretty strong set overall and definitely one that I would highly recommend. Now the next Prime Empire set that we have here is the Ninja Tuner car, and this one's going to be retiring at the end of March, as goes for the other two that I'm going to mention after this one, so keep that in mind also. But I think this set's honestly a little bit lackluster. I'm not a huge fan of the build. The color scheme is very toned down as well, which I don't really think fits very well within Prime Empire. I kind of like the more flashy builds within this wave of Ninjago, so I'm not a huge fan of this one, so thus I will probably not pick it up. Then the next one that we have here is Jay's Cyber Dragon right here, and this set is honestly a really cool one. I kind of came around to this one. I wasn't a huge fan of it at the start, but now I really do like the look of it. I think it's got a cool design to it, a nice robotic sort of dragon design here, so I do like the build of that quite a bit. I like that you get, of course, Nia within this set, who is exclusive to it, and then Unagami as well, who isn't exclusive, but still is pretty cool to get within the set. So I'd say there's some pretty good figures in here and a good build as well, so it's pretty well balanced and would probably be a set that I would recommend, but I don't know if I'll pick it up myself because I can probably just bricklink Nia separately. Now the last Prime Empire set that we have here is the Empire Temple of Madness right here, and this set honestly disappointed me when it was revealed just because of how the scale is of this sort of like location within the actual Ninjago show. I feel like this is really scaled down, and I know you gotta expect that. We can't get like a $400 set for every Ninjago build, but still I feel like it's a bit lackluster here. It doesn't really have a lot of depth to it as well, so there isn't really too much I feel like you can really interact with here, even though there's a few play features, of course. I think this works really well as a display piece, but if you plan on interacting with it, I don't think it's worth it as much, and there really aren't any figures that are super desirable for me. I know you have the chef who's exclusive to it, but still, I'm not a huge fan of that figure, and I don't feel like I necessarily need it, so this set is probably going to be a pass for me. Now we're going to move forward to the Master of the Mountain sets here, and all of them will be retiring in summer, and the first three that we have here I'm going to cover all together because they're all three of the Spinjitzu Burst sets here. Now I haven't had the opportunity to pick these up yet, but I definitely do want to get my hands on them eventually because they are including some really cool minifigures here. I'm not a huge fan of the reuse of the Legacy 2 legs, but I still can really appreciate the great printing on the torso and the face as well, so I like them for those reasons, but I don't think they're the best of the gimmick sets, but I still think they're pretty cool. Then the next one that we have here is the Journey to the Skull Dungeons, and for this set I haven't picked it up yet, but I definitely am considering because I do own the largest set from the wave of Master of the Mountain, so this one goes together really well with that set, so I would consider picking it up for that reason, and I would kind of recommend the same to you. I don't know if you need this set necessarily on its own unless you just want to get a taste of the wave. It's a pretty affordable set and a good reason for that because you get 3 of the ninja and then 1 of the Munces as well, so you get a little cool set right here. But definitely if you have the largest set from the wave, I would recommend this one because it would go together really well with that. Now the last Ninjago set that we have here is the Wu's Battle Dragon right here, which is honestly one of the best $20 sets. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. It's got such a great dragon build. It just looks fantastic with a really unique design to it, and I love the fabric wings and then the brick built head as well, which looks really great. And then of course you get the hero Wu right here, who looks fantastic. We don't get to see Wu too often in like battle gear, so I really love them adding that in this set. And then a as well, which is a cool inclusion. So I'd say this is just a really well balanced set and a great deal as well. Alright, now we're going to cover the LEGO Speed Champions theme here, which we do have a few sets here that are going to be retiring, and the first one here is the 2018 Dodge Challenger SRT Demon and the 1970 Dodge Charger R/T right here. And just to let you know, I am not really a car guy, so I'm not too interested in these sets, but this one will be retiring by the end of March, and I wanted to cover this one first because it's the only one for March, and then the rest of them are going to be for summer retirement. So just to let you know that right off the bat here for this portion. But yeah, I think this is a pretty decent set. I mean, I can definitely appreciate the car builds here, but it just doesn't really interest me too much, and there really aren't any minifigures that I feel like I need. Now we've got the Ferrari F40 right here, and I think that this is a pretty good looking car here. I do like the bright color scheme of it with that red. I think it definitely makes it pop quite a bit, so I like it for that reason. It looks to be well built, but it still does not really interest me too much. Then we've got the Chevrolet race car right here, and I think this one's pretty good as well. I mean, I like the blue color scheme. It's probably one of my more favorite ones. I like the sticker use on this one as well, even though I know some people might complain with that. I think that it definitely adds a little bit more detail to it as well, so I like it for that reasoning also, and it's probably, honestly, one of my favorites. Now we've got the McLaren Senna right here, and I think this one's a pretty good looking car as well. Definitely got a very sleek look to it, and I honestly really like the gray and orange color scheme. You don't see that too often, so I do like the look of that, and it honestly kind of makes me think of Cole from Ninjago, so I like it for that reason as well. So it is just still a pretty cool looking car. Now the last Speed Champion set that we have here is the 1974 Porsche right here, and this one's pretty decent. I'm honestly not a huge fan of this one. I think it's an alright looking car once again, but not too many thoughts here. It looks pretty simplistic to me, and that's it for Speed Champions. Now for the LEGO Star Wars theme here, the first set that we'll go over is the Snow Speeder right here, the 4 Plus set, and this one's going to be retiring at the end of March, and then the rest of the sets that we'll cover for this theme are retiring in the summer, so I just wanted to get that out of the way here. But I think that this one's an okay looking set. I mean, it's 4 plus, so you can't really expect too much. It definitely looks a little bit less detailed than I would like, but still, I think it's pretty decent for what it's trying to be. Now we've got a Mandalorian set right here, the AT-ST Raider right here, and of course, a lot of people are going to be buying this set just because of kind of the controversy and of course the firing of Cara Dune's actor Gina Carano, so I think people will be picking this one up pretty quickly, so it might even retire quicker than expected. But I think that this is a really decent set. I do like all of the figures included in it as well. I can't say that I'll probably pick this one up. I just don't really love it enough to want to pick it up, and it's not exactly the most affordable set, so it's still decent. It's got a good build to it, but I just don't think it's anything too spectacular. Now we've got a battle pack right here, specifically the Sith Troopers one here, and I think that this is a really great looking battle pack. I absolutely love the red troopers right here. I think they just look fantastic, and I definitely do want to get at least one of these. I haven't picked up any of them thus far, so I definitely do want to add at least one to my collection, so I probably will try to pick this one up before it retires. Then we've got the Duel on Mustafar right here, which is honestly a fantastic set. I really do love this one. I love both the Obi-Wan and Anakin figures here, even though I know fans complain about them because they've been reused in other sets, at least the Obi-Wan has, and I know people don't love that, but within this set they fit really well, and I do love the build of it as well. I like this idea of just the kind of like mini battles going on within these sets, so I like it for that reason alone, and I think it's a very good Star Wars set. The next one that we have here is the Sith TIE Fighter right here, of course the Dorito TIE Fighter as some people like to call it, and I think this one's pretty good. If you want to complete the Knights of Ren, you're going to have to pick it up because it has 2 of them, and then a Finn figure as well, which is pretty good, but honestly, it doesn't really interest me enough that I can see myself picking this one up. Now the last Star Wars set here is the Dio set, and I'm not interested in this one by any means. I don't really care for the droid sets where it's just a larger build of them. I can definitely see the interest interest in them. It is cool to have like a cool scale model of the build, but it just doesn't really interest me too much, and I wasn't a huge fan of Dio from the film. Now we move on to Lego Super Mario here, and all of these sets will be retiring in summer of 2021, at least the 4 that I'm going to go over in this video. And the first one that we got here is Womp's Lava Trouble, which honestly, I've been debating so much if I want to start collecting the Lego Super Mario line. It's definitely intrigued me quite a bit, but I'm just holding out for them to hopefully do minifigure scale stuff at some point. So I'm hoping for that eventually, but I still do appreciate the builds. I absolutely love the Womp build here. It's one of my favorite of the Mario enemies here, and I think it just looks great translated into Lego. So if you do collect Super Mario and you don't have this one for some reason, then I would definitely recommend picking this one up. Then the next Super Mario set that we have here is the Boomer Bill Barrage right here, and I think this is a pretty good set as well, honestly. You get a Shy Guy in it, you get a mushroom, you get the 2 bills right there, so I think that's pretty good. You get some nice inclusions here. It looks like a fun playset, so if you have Super Mario, you might want to pick this one up. Now we've got 2 of the suit packs right here for Super Mario, and the first one is the Propeller Mario right here. It's not one of my favorites. I'll say it looks pretty simplistic to me. I do like the hat. I think it's cool with the propeller, but it just doesn't interest me too much. And then the other one is the Builder Mario, which I am a bit more interested in, because if I do pick up Super Mario, I'll definitely, of course, get the starter pack, so I'll have Mario, and I would love to see him dressed up here in the Builder Mario suit, so I like it for that reasoning alone, and I think it's a pretty good looking suit. Alright, now we've come to the final Lego theme right here, and this one is Technic, and both of these sets that I'm going to cover here are retiring at the end of March, just so you know, and I can't say that I saved the best for last year. I've just gone in alphabetical order. I'm not a huge fan of Technic personally, so the first one here is the Rescue Helicopter. I don't have too much to say about it. I can totally see the intrigue behind Technic, and I get why some people like it, of course, and I respect the theme for what it is. It's got a very unique building system to it, and it kind of separates itself and differentiates itself from the rest of Lego, so I like it for that reason, but it's never intrigued me enough to pick up a set, so I probably won't pick this one up. And now the last set that we have here for Technic, and only the second one here, is the Chevrolet Corvette right here, and I think this one's honestly pretty good. It does look nice in the final product here. I like the look of Technic sets in the final form, but they just don't interest me enough to want to pick them up, so this one will be another pass, but if you do want to pick it up, be sure to do so by the end of March. Alright, so that's going to conclude the video here for all of the Lego sets that are going to be retiring in either the end of March or the end of summer for 2021. So yeah, quite a few sets here for sure. And I hope that this video was able to help you find out which ones you're going to need to pick up or put a little bit higher on your list if you want to make sure you get them before they retire. I know I'll be doing that with a few of them, specifically mainly Ninjago, Marvel, stuff like that I'm more interested in. But there's still some really cool ones and I wanted to cover them all nonetheless. So I hope you did enjoy the video. It would be highly appreciated if you could leave a like, also subscribe. And if you do want to check out my separate video that I made for the Ninjago set specifically, where I go a little bit more in depth on them, just because I have more opinions about those than these other themes, then be sure to check out that video. I'll link it at the end of this one. But just thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you all next time, and always remember, keep on collecting.